Hey guys, I am back with a Let's Play build mode for the Breed Out the Ugly challenge. So right now I'm just building the front entrance of the house and trying to make figure out what exactly I'm going to do. Now, I had built this house previous to redoing this, so I had kind of an idea in mind, so sometimes you'll notice me stop and then restart again. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. I had a lot of fun building it. It took me a little while to figure out what I really wanted to do. So, yeah. And as you can see, I'm just deleting all the connected walls that make it less open concept. I really like open concept homes. They're kind of what I am, I don't know, kind of what I gear towards. I grew up in an open concept house, so I guess I'm very used to it, and I just kind of like the flow of it. So here I'm just going to make like an overhanging roof and just trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to figure that out. I did struggle on this a little bit. You'll see this in a second. I couldn't get the right side, left looking at the house, right side looking from the house away, right here, after I place this. You'll notice that I work on it for quite a while. It takes me like so long to figure it out, and I feel so like crazy stupid. I should have just deleted it right away from the beginning when I couldn't figure it out and replaced it. But you'll notice in a few minutes when I place the second one that I figure it out like right off the bat. It's easier to place than this one that I had placed. I guess because they had been, well, I don't know, I guess the architecture of the roof there had modified to the top that I had placed without finalizing how I wanted the top of the roof to be. So I'm just kind of placing it left to right and seeing if it'll fix. Again, struggling super hard. Now I think it's the roof's problem and fixing that. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick right now. I think I've been attacked by a cold. So anyway, moving on. This is where I place the other side, just to. You'll see as I place it that like right away it fixes automatically. And then I guess not, okay. I adjust the back into there and it's matched. Ta-da! And now I try and resize this again to fail even more, and can you delete? Oh, and I resize that, or replace that, and try to move the width again. It doesn't work, so I delete it, and I replace it finally. Yay! And this is when figure out that it works. Yay! Okay, now I can continue on. So now I am going to do the interior and just, you can see my mouse on the left side. I'm counting on the opposite window. I have two monitors, so I'm counting on the monitors just to make sure that the inside of the house is the same length. And now I am making what will be her office. And just adjusting the size. And one more, there we go. Perfect. And just making sure that the count is right. And now I'm going to do her bedroom, which is the exact same size. And there we go. And then I extend this back part, and that will be the entrance outside to the backyard. And resize it. There we go. And pull the roof out a little bit more. And I think next I place some pillars. Yep. Here we go. And I place the pillars. Just making sure those are even. And now I add the walkway up to the house. I really like the use of walkways. I find that they just give the house a little more character, and for this I'm just going 3 across, well 2 and then a half on each side, so making sure that I line it up. Pretty OCD with stuff. It's I don't know, I really like things being symmetrical. So, and then here I'm just figuring out if I want to make that longer, and I personally think it looks better like that. And then for these I just pull them up one more because I feel like they're in too far. And do the same with the other side. Now for this house, because I made her outfit so pink, what you'll see is that her house is very pink too, and the color scheme will reflect this. I just felt like, you know, like I've never really had girly characters, so this would be a good alternative for me, because I've never done this before. So now here I'm just deciding which one I want to go with. There's a darker one and then there's a lighter one. And I believe, yep, I picked that one. So just analyzing how it'll look before I place it. And then I place it and start doing the wraparounds, and there. And then next, I work on how I want the roof to look, and just look at different ways. And I believe I finalized with that one, so I think they look pretty good together. Kind of the rounded chips with the straight edge. And then here I decide what kind of door I want to place, and I believe I just end up placing that one right there. I think it looks nice. It's I wanted to make this house more full of light. I like a lot of natural light in my houses, so that's a personal preference as well. And then I decide that before I continue I should probably finish setting up things like the washroom, which I haven't placed yet, and so I do that right now. And there we go. And that is our washroom. So here we go, just checking to make sure everything is sized right, and it is. So now we add on the back door and add those same windows that are in the front, just to give it more extra light. There we go. And then from there we move on to the windows that surround the house. And you'll see I'm just looking through right now, trying to find the one that I hadn't looked at before. And I can't find it, so I just eyedropper tool and place them from the one in the front. And there we go. And I just realized that that didn't get covered now because I added that in. And then added them to the side where the kitchen will be, and 2 over in the living room. I didn't realize that the window on the left side in the back in her office is down one more, so I'm going to have to fix that when I get into the game, unless I fixed that already in here. So anyway, just adding windows to the washroom now. I added smaller ones because I figured I didn't want to take up so much space. And now I'm going to work on lighting and just add these cheaper lights. So then I changed the darkness just to make sure how much light coverage this will give us in the evening, and just kind of place them in the rooms. I don't really get too fancy with lights typically in my games, and now you'll see that I'm just replacing them to where they should go in the room and fixing them again just because I had them offset. And there we go. And now I am going through and going to take that light out because I figured there was too much lighting. Move that more into the center, and that's it for the lights. So then I guess now I will do the front yard. And I just decided to add some bushes. I added some lavenders, 2 on one side and then a big bush on the other, and then here I'm just replacing the mailbox just to bring it closer to where the front is, and fixing those, and then realized that I had meant to place the bush over here and trying to figure out which way I liked it, and I liked it more of a flat way like that. And then looking for this bush and placing that as well, and figuring out which kind of style I liked more. And then after that, just going through and looking if I wanted to add anything other than that. And then I take those same bushes, apply them to the other side, and then move these closer together. And then I do something cute just to add on to this little bit here. I go and I add a flamingo to each side. And so here I figure out how I want to place it in relation to the house. Making sure that I can place it as close as possible without it not being seen, and then I mess up and I have to replace it again, and then finally place it on the other side, and there we go. That's it for the front. And then I just kind of I looked through the colors just to see if I wanted a lighter or a darker color of it, and I decided to stay with the mid-tone, not the red. After this, I add some doors, and then I just choose which ones I want, and so I chose this one with the kind of arches. Originally I had placed singular doors to the office and the bedroom, but I decided maybe I want double doors, so I added double doors to them, and I went with the arched doorway like that. By arched I mean like there's little kind of window semicircle on the tops, and added those. And now I'm just putting there's milk barrels with flowers coming out of them, or well, not flowers but branches, and I just am looking through for that. So when I finally find it, after taking a million years, obviously I'm not going to be under pictures, Katie, come on. And so I finally find it, I do 8 colors, and place them at the back door. So there they are. Well, there's one, and then now there's the other. And there. I think that looks pretty good. Now I go through and I decide what color scheme I want to add to each of the rooms. So I was thinking about this one at first, and I had placed it, but then I decided maybe I wanted something more of a boarded look, I guess, and accidentally applied it to the main room. Decided I didn't really like it, and so I added this to the main room. And I figured it was a nice color. And then I just kind of looked through and I decided which off shade I wanted to do next. Kind of decided a more plain pink possibly, and then I went into pastels. Looked in the pastels if I liked those better. And then looked at flowers. Looked at this design and decided that I liked that better for the office instead, and applied the other one to my bedroom for Rhyanna. And then for the washroom, I wanted to find kind of more of a cream color to put in there, but I didn't know if I wanted to exactly, so I kind of messed around, looked through the different color tablets, and decided that I would do, where is it? I believe I do the same one as the, oh no, that one, there we go. It's a little bit lighter, it's more of a lighter baby pink, but I think altogether they look nice together, so now I'm just going to do the backyard. And I made kind of like a zen garden here, and I really enjoyed making the garden. It was a lot of fun. I kept a kind of low rise, just because I didn't want to have a privacy fence or anything, so I decided these longer bushes would be better, and I ended up placing them instead of the shorter ones, and there's the back. And I wanted to put bushes instead of a wall because I don't like how the walls look without, you know, they don't really have any texture to them, really, so, and they're also a different shade. I don't know if you can change the shade, I don't think so, but, and that's that, and on the other side. But I think overall it worked out. I like how I designed the fence and all that, and now you'll see that I'm adding just a wreath, a little entrance to it, and there's that. So now I continue on with drawing the fence, add it in, how I like it. I decide that I don't want to have 2, I just want to have 1, and move this little fence closer, bring this over, and then decide if I actually wanted to do that, and I did, which is apparent when you see the finished version right here, and voila, that's that. And then I added little lavender bushes on each side, and I think I forgot to do the flooring too in the house. I'm not sure if I actually input it, so I'll have to figure that out when I get into the game. I think I did, but I can't remember. Anyway, we'll see later on. So then I just fix it up, and now I add add some trees, some topiary trees. So one on this side and one on this side. And I like them, they look like big lollipops, so they're cute, which is accurate because they're called lollipop topiaries. And then I add 4 little planter boxes. I was thinking of 5, but I ended up just doing 4. And then I add a nice bench, one of these grand benches. And they remind me of like pixie benches. I don't know why. They're really cute. I like them a lot. And then I add one on each side. And there we go. And that's that. And then I think about having a table, but I don't, so that's it for the backyard. And just take a look. Make sure everything looks right, and start with the kitchen. And I had already decided that I really like these, this set together. The old style fridge and stove, so I put those down. And then I decided which things I wanted to hang on the wall. Added some paintings. I don't know if I do that yet, but I know that I'm looking for a specific one and I can't find it, and it takes me forever, and it's just frustrating. So I keep looking and looking and looking, and finally try to search for key terms. And end up not finding it, so I then go back to decorations and start with the doorway instead, because I figure if I can't find it now, I'll just find it later. So I start adding stuff to the doorway, and this is really bad because I then figure out that I hadn't built the doorway where it was meant to go when I had planned it. So I'm sitting here adding down things. Still, I add the kitchen countertops, and I decide if I want white on top or black on top with white on the bottom or black on the bottom. So I add those, and then I look for my nice little wine rack. And there it is, and I add in the silver, or a little bit metallic kind of color, and add the sink, and then I decide if I want curtains, and I try different colored curtains on, because I had added them previously, but I don't know if I really wanted to have curtains. So I go through and look at all these and decide if I want to have them or not, and basically I decide that I don't. So here you'll just watch me going through figuring out which ones that I was thinking of and then not picking them at all. Then I go back to this one. And no curtains, voila! I think of that one, and then I'm like, maybe, no. This one, it fits, but see, in a different color, and then it blocks out all the light, and I'm just like, nah, no curtains. We'll just let the light in. So then I place a garbage can, the one that gives you your money back, or gives you 10 simoleon bucks, or ranges to 4 depending on how many sims are in your household. I mean 40, not 4. It's really funny because I just went over the one that I wanted, the thing that I wanted to find on the wall, and then went away from it after looking for it. So now I'm struggling to find it yet again. Again. those and look through the normal pack, and it's not there. It's actually in the outdoors pack, what I'm looking for. So then I go back and I add outdoors instead, and click miscellaneous, click looking for everything, and scroll, scroll, scroll. I don't find it there, and not there, and not there. Nope, nada. Nope. Finally, scroll down. Extremely carefully at every single line that comes up, and find it! Yay! After like a million years. And there it is, our little hearts. And then I decide to add a little bar in the kitchen, just for mixology skill and whatnot. Some separating curtains. Well, they're not curtains, but they're separating walls. So then I place those, and this is where I found out that I didn't do a little interior wall addition there, and I sit here trying to figure it out for the longest time why there's such a big gap between them. And I'm like, this does not look right. Why is it taking me so long to figure it out? And try. And look again, it's still a wide gap. So then I look on my pre-built house and come to find out that I hadn't added a wall right after this part right here. I look at this and I'm like, these paintings fit beside it. So I bring this over and I find out, hey, this is not working. So I try to see if I can do that instead, and it doesn't work, so I have to rebuild the walls. And I just take these always hit escape. I don't know why. I know it doesn't do anything, but it's just habit. So then I place those and look for my decoration. There's the one figure. Place that. And then figure out, yep, there we go. Good job, Katie. You excel at life. Yay! So there's those. And then I go back and I add our nice easel because I want her to be pretty, I'm thinking of making her maybe a stay-at-home mom. I'm not sure yet. Maybe do a bunch of writing on books and whatnot, but I haven't decided. Maybe I'll make her a kick-ass woman and make her be the sole provider of the house. I don't know. I haven't decided really yet, so we will decide. We will decide. And then I just go through and I look at some other little goodies that I possibly want to add, and I decide maybe not. So then I continue and I start up with the living room. But first I am adding the dining table and the chairs. So now I am just going to pick out the chairs, and I decided with this one I would go with a dark frame and a sorry about that, guys. I got a call from one of those automated voice message systems. They're so weird. Anyway, I realized that I wanted to add this to the kitchen, a little just menu for daily action. So now I believe I am going to add some paintings around the house. Just trying to figure out which one it was. Find out that it is this one, but there we go. And then I replace where I wanted it to go. And decide to add in the toilet and sink along with the nice mirror. So I chose this sink. I think it's one of my favorites actually. I like the little compartment underneath. It's so cute. And for the mirror I chose a longer mirror just because I felt like I liked it a lot more, and I'm debating about moving the sink over so that it's middle underneath it. After this, I decide to add a hand towel rack, in pink of course, and then add just a little accent in the corner and try to figure out which one I want. Looking through, seeing which colors would look pretty as well as size compared to the rest of the washroom, and decide that some of these are a little bit small for what I want, and finally find this one and decide it looks good with the wallpaper and whatnot. So now I'm going to work on the bedroom, and I decide to add the similar the side table that we add at the front door, and just looking through the beds that I want. Obviously can't get that one, so looking at this one and the color choices that we have. Now I can't place it because that is there, so just move that for now and go through and look through some of the other beds that are there. But I decided, because I want to be able to treat our lady like a princess, that I will get her the more expensive bed. Now, I know this house probably costs way more than we can afford, so I'm just going to act like that never happened. Because I'd like her to have a nice house. I mean, I didn't really want to start with a startup home. I wanted to have like a nice foundation for her and hopefully expand. And she is materialistic, so I feel like that will play in with this. And then I decide what else I want to add, so I decide maybe a mirror would look good, so I add one. I put it on this side first, and then decide if I want it on this side, and then decide to just put it beside the door. And then I look through the wall decor, and I want to add one of these wall mounts for the coats and stuff. So I look through the pinks and decide which one would look best, and I didn't really want to put the sweaters up. I felt like they didn't really suit her because she's more materialistic. She would have something more like the peplum top, the suit jacket, and the dress. So I add these, and then I go through and I adjust the color to the pink, which I thought didn't really match the room, but I figured, what the heck, might as well. It looks nice, just not with what we have. So now I am just looking for a very wide poster or picture to put into her bedroom, and I decide that this one looks nice, and just to change the border to a lighter, more pinky toned brown. And after this, I decide that I want to have a less wide photo for her office, and then decide to add another one beside the door. And then I adjust that just a little bit, and there we go. And add some, just some lounge chairs. So I decided that I wanted to go with this one, and I made it pink, of course. The pink is a little light, but that is alright. I feel like it kind of gives a lighter touch to the interior and makes it look less salmon. And then I decide to add her desk, and I give her pink drawers, and there's that. And then I look through the chairs and I decide if I wanted this one or one of the larger ones, and I end up deciding that I don't like that one because it has such a overwhelming pink. So I look through the other ones just to see if there's any ones, and that one would be perfect if it wasn't so childish, I guess. So I do contemplate that one, but then I find this and decide to go with that because it matches the seats that are over by the doors. And then I look through the computers and look at the different colors, and then decide to go with the all-out expensive version. So that is that for her office, and like I said, I have to go back and fix that window. So here we are adding a fireplace. I thought it would be a nice touch to her house, so I moved over the windows, and then decided just to move over the fireplace a little bit so that we could have that window there as well, and made sure that it was center, and then added a nice TV over top of it when it gets to that point. And there we go. And there's the nice TV right in the center. Beautiful. After this, I decided that she needs a stereo, so I go with this oddly shaped side table, and I add it in because I think it looks funky in the space and it gives something unique. And then I add the radio on top, and there it is. Then I decide that this wall is very empty and it needs something on there, so I look at a bunch of different images, and I decide that we should add something more flowery, something with a feminine touch. So I look through all of the pictures with flowers, and finally decide on a very large frame, which I hadn't thought of previously, but I figured because it's such a blank space that it would be beneficial to her living area if there was a much larger painting that was placed there, and that is the painting. And I contemplated this a little bit and just decided to end up placing it, but not before I look through one final time and make sure that that is the one that we want. So there it is, and I just adjust where I want it to go, and there's that. And I just look at the different colors and decide on the more ready toned. And after this I look at the couches and choose one with a pink upholstery for the couch. And then I decide that her office needs a little rug under her feet, so I add that in. And then I decide that the back door and the front door both could use a welcome mat, so I add those in. I haven't done this before, and I must admit that I like this touch very much. So I decide to leave it as that regular color and take a look at my work and decide that it is done. Thanks for watching me build this house, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about the house. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you next episode. Bye, guys.